righteous tones.
No need for any clever finger work there, Dan.
It's awesome. Hey guys, welcome to That Pedal Show. Dan here.
Mick here, hello! And I'm being so effusive because we got told off for being grumpy.
Really?
Some guys go, oh, you guys are all, you just look so grumpy when you start the show.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't quite explain it other than I'm probably going, oh God, what are we going to talk about today?
Okay. Well, today, we're going to talk about... we're going to talk about the Bluesbreaker.
I'm like Ant before the car crash. Okay, back to business.
Back to business. Right, our dear friend Chris Buck has graciously loaned us his Bluesbreaker pedal.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Now, this is an original one from the early 90s.
When did they come out, Dan?
The early 90s. 91, I believe.
Yeah. And it was part of a trio of pedals.
Yes.
The other two were?
The Shredmaster and the Governor was before this. There was the Shredmaster, and then there was the
original three with the Shredmaster, the Bluesbreaker, and the Governor.
Right, okay.
So there may have been another, but...
Okay.
How much were they when they came out?
50 of your Great British pounds.
55, I reckon.
55.
This is all according to a very quick Google search.
Yeah. Really interesting pedal, though. The Shredmaster, when it came out, lots of people loved that high gain thing. When this came out, it was supposed to... they were going after the John Mayall and the Bluesbreaker type tone.
Yes, for anyone who doesn't know, Bluesbreaker means a couple of things. Bluesbreakers was a band in the early to mid-60s with John Mayall, John Mayall's Bluesbreakers, and probably getting on for the most important modern electric blues record ever recorded, Bluesbreakers with Eric Clapton.
Right.
From a UK perspective anyway.
Otherwise known as the Beano album.
Otherwise known as the Beano album, because he sat there on the front reading the Beano. Something we've recreated many times in guitar magazines, getting someone to sit there with the Beano.
Right.
Very famous picture of Joe Bonamassa doing the same thing. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so that was the Bluesbreakers. All goes back to John Mayall's Bluesbreakers, blah, blah, blah. Eric Clapton comes along, reignites lust for Sunburst Les Pauls, essentially reawakens some people, I'm just going to say America, reawakens some people to how cool electric blues is, and kind of restarts a whole interest in electric blues.
Wow.
What's really important about that is among white people. Okay. Because if you think that B.B. King didn't play to his fully white audience until 1967...
Wow.
So this is significant
Amazing.
Cultural stuff here.
Yeah.
Anyway, Clapton comes along, white boy from the Surrey Delta of England, and goes, look at this music that they've been playing all this time that is really cool, but you've forgotten about.
Right.
And then every kid wanted a Les Paul and to sound like Clapton. So that's Bluesbreaker number one. Bluesbreaker number two was the name given to the JTM 45 combo.
Right.
The 1962 model.
Okay.
That he was playing on that record.
Interesting.
And then that became known as the Bluesbreaker. And that's where we pick up this story.
But they call it the Marshall do call it the Bluesbreaker.
They do now. They didn't then.
Right. It was just the...
Yeah, I don't know when it picked up that name, to be fair. Certainly wasn't at the time.
Okay.
It was called the 1962X, I guess. Or the 1962.
What's interesting to me about that tone, about the tone of this Bluesbreaker pedal...
Yeah, so this pedal is supposed to sound like that amp, right?
It's supposed to sound like that amp. And it was brought out at a time where high gain was a big deal. And I thought it was a really interesting thing for Marshall.
Late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, to bring when they brought this pedal out. Because if you have a look at the way the pedal is designed, it's very... like the gain control is basically it's not the amount of distortion in the circuit. It's basically the amount of level that the guitar is allowed to go through into the circuit. So it's very amp-like in that regard.
Okay.
And
circuit-wise, to pick up what we were talking about with Josh Smith, it's op amp and clipping diodes.
Exactly.
Soft clipping.
Yeah. is a soft clipping? Is it the diodes in the feedback loop? I'm not sure.
They are.
They are.
The
right.
common mod, again, this is gleaned from like 10 minutes research on the interweb this morning. The common mod is to swap those diodes out and make it hard clipping.
Okay.
If you want, take them out of the feedback loop and put a switch on there if you want it hard clipping,
right.
which becomes relevant in a minute. But
okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, Dan.
No. But the other thing that that's interesting about the original Bluesbreaker pedal is it's not very loud, and it's the common complaint from a lot of people is that it doesn't have a huge amount of output volume. Specifically, when people try and set it up clean, and it goes back to that thing about it's actually the gain control is about getting the right amount of level of your guitar through into the circuit, as opposed to controlling the amount of distortion. And of course they're intertwined, but it's set up at mild breakup, you can get it, just above unity, but it's never going to be the pedal that's pushing your amplifier.
Sure.
It's designed to create a sound of breakup.
Yeah.
As opposed to working in conjunction with an amplifier that's breaking up. So, really interesting pedal, and it has spawned loads of, it's been, I say spawned, it has been a inspiration. It's been an inspiration for lots of designers. So we thought we'd have a quick look at some of those inspirations.
Yep, a couple of super famous ones on there I can see.
Yep.
One that I didn't know was a Bluesbreaker style circuit. I always thought it was a Klon style circuit, which is the JHS.
Oh, the Morning Glory, yeah.
We probably just should say that we don't have a Marshall Bluesbreaker amp here, a 1962 JTM45 combo.
I did try and get one.
I think we might have one coming this afternoon, bizarrely.
No
I can't remember
way.
what I asked him to bring. We're doing a show on old amps this afternoon. If we do that, we will cut a piece in. But if you want to hear one, listen to the Beano album. That is what it sounds like. Now, some people say, no, it wasn't. It was something else. Oh, it's all to do with the way he mic'd. There's lots of
lore and myth and legend.
Simon says.
I've got a tangent on that.
Okay, go on.
Clapton told me.
You got something to throw at him.
But he took the mic off his cab.
Yeah.
And the engineer put it on, and then most of the guitar sound is coming through the vocal mic on that record when they were tracking it.
Do you know, part of me believes that, because if you listen to it, it is a well-roomy sound.
And so what you're saying, part of you believes it, part of you doesn't believe Simon.
No. Sorry, what I actually meant was that makes sense when you listen to it, because it is a really roomy sound. Right. But then I've also read lots of things that say the engineers were complaining because it was too loud. All of those classic things, you were in there recording at Abbey Road or wherever it was in the mid-60s, and they're like, you're kidding, right?
Yeah, wow.
Because it's loud. But, so what I was going to say was, listen to Bluesbreakers with Eric Clapton. That is the sound of a JTM 45 cranked.
Right.
And people saying, is there a fuzz box? Is there a treble booster? Don't think so. Doesn't sound like it to me.
Simon, what is
What'd you best mate Eric say about that?
Don't think there was a pedal. Don't know.
No. Some people think
don't know, can't remember.
I think he can't remember.
Yeah, right.
Some people think there is. I've done it. I've played a 59 type Les Paul, although Clapton's was a 60, just for the pedants out there. Into JTM 45, turned up to 10, and it's that sound.
Wow.
And so the second thing I was going to say about that is no pedal sounds like that.
No.
At all.
No.
So comparing the two is,
of course,
largely pointless.
Yeah. It's a different thing. But
80% of it is the physicality of you stood there next to the thing.
Right.
Which is like
being torn apart. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I always find it interesting how can you listen objectively in a situation like that, because you can't.
I've been thinking so much about this recently. We'll talk about it more in the transistor amp episode that we're going to film in a minute after this.
Right.
Well, in an hour after this. I've decided that one of the reasons I'm so crap at blind tests is the typical male can't do two things at once.
That's amazing.
I can listen objectively.
Right.
So if you're playing the guitar or someone else is playing the guitar, I can listen objectively.
But playing and listening,
forget it. Two separate parts of the brain.
wow.
I can feel it.
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
feel
yeah.
it subconsciously, and
Yeah.
I know what's going to make me play better.
But trying to sit there and think about the stuff while you're playing.
Trying to do this and that,
Yeah.
and
And
listen objectively. It's like patting your head and rubbing your tummy, or it's like I don't know, trying to write something while you're listening to spoken word in your ears.
That is fascinating.
So that's what I think. Anyway, so you were saying, how can you listen objectively when you're playing at that volume?
Yeah. There's so much, that volume is such an experience, and it's not just about what you're hearing. And in fact, at that sort of level, what you're hearing is a much smaller percentage of the experience than just that being in that environment, being in that sound pressure level, and just being pummeled with it.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I totally agree. It's like, imagine someone with a jackhammer on the street, and all you can do is see what's happening.
Very good.
It's
very good.
Or imagine that you're stood on an isolation. He's jackhammering next to you there. She is jackhammering next to you there, and you're stood on an isolation plate with complete sound absorption. You know, you don't experience it. You only experience it when
That's amazing.
when you're like getting jiggled by it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's anyway.
Getting jiggled by it.
These are all good tangents.
Okay, so the two amps today, we have the Victory 140. So that's the V40,
They're totally going to tell me off for this. This is a prototype. It's not even in production.
but it's 100 watts.
It's a 100-watt version of the V40 Deluxe, and because we were having a conversation, and I said, for me, there's not enough headroom in the V40 Deluxe.
Right.
And as they all fell off their chairs, one of them said, well, should we try putting a 100-watt power section in it then? I said, yeah, let's have a go at that. Anyway, so they made one. It might go into production, it might not. So sorry, Victory, if it doesn't. But honestly, the only way to really test these things is to test it and listen to it.
Have a listen.
Okay, and I've got some other great news, Dan. Does sound nice. That's not really what it's meant for.
Right.
I want Simon to see if he can find a fanfare in his sample library. Hopefully you would have heard a fanfare over that. Blue is back. Blue is back, Dan.
Well. Don't change anything. This is the Sovtek Mig50 special present from our mate Josh. This is just that quickly by itself. And this is both together. Man alive, that sounds amazing.
Nice. It is. Sorry, I just tweaked the 140 up a little bit there. It's so good. It's there are other videos on this. So I'm not going to talk about it now.
Okay.
But I'm just overwhelmed to have it back.
Sounds amazing.
Which is great. And Red's back too.
Red's back too. Red's had
Red's had knee frets.
Yep.
There are other videos on this. There are going to be other videos on the differences since they've been refretted, and they are significant.
Okay.
Let's get into it then. So, one of the reasons we're doing this is because the Pantheon's just come out from Wampler, and all the forums went, no, didn't they? Is that right?
There was some nerage.
Yeah.
This is a. It's not a departure, but it's a. It's another circuit inspired by the Bluesbreaker thing, and it became apparent that there's some big hitters out there that have, this is from the family tree.
Okay, so broadly, what are our questions then? These are they that we've assembled that take their main inspiration from the Bluesbreaker. Most famous of which is the King of Tone. Box of Rock, which I didn't know was actually, but I think is, if my memory serves me right. JHS Morning Glory, Keeley 1962X, this which I'd never heard of.
So
Snouse Electric Company, Black Box Overdrive 2.
Snouse or Snouse?
Snouse. Could do with a snooze.
Apparently this is like a dead-on replica of this, just with the better circuits. But of course, they say dead on replica, but it's got a boost control and presence in there,
and 4 dip switches,
and 4 dip switches
as well, and stuff like that.
Yeah. So at the moment, it's set up to be, fairly close to this. But anyway, let's go back.
Okay, let's have a good listen to the Bluesbreaker then, with some single coils and some humbuckers, and then we'll move on. Yeah.
Okay.
That is the sound of Red. That's the sound of Red. The 6100s were just too bright for me.
Isn't it amazing?
It put some sibilancy top end on there, which wasn't pleasing for me.
It's back.
Yeah, happy days.
Right.
Everyone's going to say, "Oh, you idiots! It's just in your brain." Just for contrast, of course, it's in your brain.
It's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Tight, rocky.
Yeah.
Bit of up on the top there so that it sounds good and crunchy.
Yeah, but not overly distorted.
Someone also said I need to stop touching my nose, but for some reason I have an itchy nose. I don't do cocaine. I've never done cocaine. I wonder if it's part of getting old where your nose hairs grow a bit more and they're just itching the whole time.
If you grow a facial hair, you can... The nose hairs sort of get camouflaged into the mustache.
I get my nose tash, man. Yeah, anyway, sorry about touching my nose the whole time. It's not about cocaine, I promise. I've never done cocaine. Yeah, so crunchy, nice. Can I just hear the gain range?
Sure.
I know some of these pots are a bit scratchy, but let's do it.
Okay.
So... So loads of high end being rolled off there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely got that Marshall honk.
Yeah. It's awesome.
The Marshall honk to the overdrive, which is, I don't know what frequency it is, but there's a definite honk that a classic era Marshall has. And I guess it could be as much to do with some of the resonance of the cab or the greenbacks or whatever. So we've got, in this 412 here, we've got 4 G12M greenbacks, classic greenback, and in this Victory cab are 2 G12M creamback 65s.
Right.
So the creambacks definitely shares lineage with the greenback in terms of that it sounds kind of woody, and it's a small magnet speaker, or medium magnet speaker, so it breaks up early, unlike a big hefty speaker. Right. Sorry, yet another tangent, but it is relevant.
But the other thing that you said is really interesting is that as you dial the gain back, it's like your volume control without a treble bleed.
Yeah.
You know, so that sense that it is basically controlling the level of the guitar into the circuit is really interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good. Well, sorry, I shouldn't use pejorative terms like good and bad, or at least bad.
But it'll sound very, with the single coils, it'll be fine. Be better anyway.
Oh man, it's so different and so much better. Oh, I don't want to change anything.
No. So all that's different on that now is the frets, right? You haven't done any of the other stuff.
He's put more relief in the neck, put the action up a bit, and I've got new strings. Dan and I are using new strings.
We are.
Kurt Mangan's. Not going to talk about it too much because we're still in the testing stage, but I like them.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
I like them a lot. So anyway, no, it's just, there you go. Same, everything is the same. New nut, new frets, totally different guitar. Sorry, we should be talking about pedals. I really like it.
The Bluesbreaker?
Yeah.
Killer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think John Mayall likes it.
Okay. Right. Shall we go through them?
Yeah, how are we going to do this without it taking 4 days?
Yeah, I reckon we just sort of whiz through them.
Okay.
To start with.
Yeah. So let's be, look at this. 2 grown men trying to organise how to go through a bunch of pedals. Let's I'm gonna stick to humbuckers because I think we get a lot of comments saying, please can we hear humbuckers and single coils. We've got a Les Paul over there, so maybe we'll have a listen to that as well. But let's do a bit of single coils and humbuckers on each one.
Okay, all right, cool. Do you want to use the Les Paul? Actually, no.
What are the strings like?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Have a go on that one.
Whole other tangent there. Played a Les Paul custom in a video vlog we did at Boss this week.
Right.
And loads of people are going, oh, Les Paul really suits you, Mick.
It does. You sound great. I mean, but so does that.
It's the ergonomics. I can't deal with it. I need like a physically big guitar.
Right.
Which doesn't really explain the Junior, but anyway. It's all in your head. It's all in your head.
Okay, so let's start with the Morning Glory.
Love that. Solves the brightness issue,
Right.
solves the gain issue, solves the volume issue.
And no scratchy parts. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah,
Okay.
no brainer.
So
So sorry, just you can have it loud and clean and bright,
Right.
which is the Bluesbreaker simply won't do.
yeah.
And a really nice range of gain there across two. So this switch goes high and low gain, blue for low gain, red for high gain, obviously. Yeah, nice. And it certainly, when we had it down like this with the gain low and the volume up, one thing I notice about JHS pedals is always tons of available volume
Right.
headroom,
Yeah.
which is nice. Happy days.
Awesome. Right.
I do have to speculate about the name.
The Morning Glory.
And then if you look at
And
the
the graphic.
diagram, what does that mean?
Look, I don't want to say anything. It's a palm tree with stars. Let's go with that.
Great.
Yeah?
That's what you can tell your kids.
There you go.
Okay, next.
Let's do the Keeley
1962. Okay. Have you already set this up? Or?
Sure.
Go for it. Broken something?
Maybe.
We did break something. We had a dodgy connection
I did.
underneath, which has now been fixed. Look.
There you go.
There you go. Awesome. Okay.
You're on fire today.
I'm just trying to remember all those Bluesbreaker riffs and forgetting
Sounds amazing.
quite badly.
killer.
Tell you what's interesting about this. So it's got the KT66 and KT88 switch,
Right.
which I'm assuming, and I apologise if I've got this wrong, but inside the pedal is presumably a clipping diode thing.
Yeah, and so it'll be two different diodes, different amounts of headroom.
Yeah, so KT66 is what you'd find in the Marshall JTM 45 of that period. Lower headroom, lower power. KT88's higher power, more headroom, and that's what the switch does.
Right.
Check this. So if you wanted it really, really creamy, you max the gain up there like that, have it on the KT6 mode.
That is killer.
That's really nice, actually.
Really great. The high gain tone in that thing is amazing.
Yeah.
Really focused.
Which is more than you would get out of the JTM 45, way more. Yep.
Killer.
Killer. Chicken dinner. What's next, Dan?
This is the Box of Rock.
Okay.
Now, we had this in a video that we shot last week. So impressed with this thing.
Etc. That was
Right.
Sharp Dressed Man by ZZ Top.
Okay.
I must have told you about my idea for a tribute band,
No.
which is utterly politically incorrect.
Tell me.
But you go round all the gentlemen's establishments and the band is ZZ Topless.
Very good. Very good.
I think in 1986 it would have sold.
I have the best tribute band.
Go on then.
I want to get a really large individual, dress him up in spandex,
Yeah.
have him go out as Wobbly Wibbliams.
Please, somebody do that. That is... Tell me that. That must already exist.
No!
Wobbly Wibbliams.
Wobbly Wibbliams. Come on! It'd be awesome! I was listening to Dred Zeppelin the other day.
Heartbreaker Hotel.
Oh, man. So good. So, yeah, like a large Elvis impersonator.
Yeah.
The Wobbly Wibbliams.
Okay, and just finally on that, we did get nearly all the way down, because we live in the West Country, right? And if you the West Country of England, the most famous band to come out of the West Country in England is a band called the Wurzels, who sing songs about combine harvesters, drinking cider, and other farmly pursuits. in a West Country accent. So drink up the cider, and I've got a brand new combine harvester.
You know, I think I told you the story, but I was looking after booking bands into the walkabout pubs, and we put them on.
Yeah.
Down south somewhere. And they were the loveliest bunch of guys.
Oh, they're great. Yeah.
Massive case of Scrumpy Jack.
Yeah.
Before the gig.
Did the bass player
Brilliant.
have his Frisian cow shaped precision?
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah, Fender made him a precision bass which had the body shaped as a Frisian cow, complete with udders. It was brilliant. Anyway, combine the Wurzels with a Britpop band, and they are the Blurzels.
Very good.
I lives on a farm, a bloody girt farm in the country,
That's awesome.
etc.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Pedals?
Where were we?
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it's your turn to play the Box of Rock, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Killer.
Absolutely killer. So it does this, which means, Daniel?
It's rebiasing the transistor.
Okay, and I believe it's FET based, isn't it, that one?
Oh, okay.
I don't know that, and I'm sorry if I've got that wrong, but the boost, it's got a separate foot switchable boost, and that sounds to me like it comes after the drive section, so you can have a lift. It's got a ton of headroom.
I don't know how much that has in common with the Bluesbreaker pedal.
No, well, the only reason I put it on there, let me check this on the Amazo web. Okay, the Box of Rock simulates Zachary's favourite amp, turned up all the way, a 1966 JTM 45.
Okay.
So might not be the combo version, might be well, obviously it says on the, you can tell by the graphics that it's a head version.
Yeah.
And I don't know how different that is from the combo version, but
right.
Yes, it's supposed to be a JTM 45. It's not supposed to be a Plexi or anything newer than that. And so that's what that is supposed to sound like.
Okay.
So whether they achieve it in the same way, circuit.
I think they're achieving it in different in different ways.
Circuitly, there's a new phrase for you.
Okay, so black box.
Yep.
Have Schwang.
Oh, Jesus.
Let me dial that back a bit.
Cool. So we've got huge headroom.
Mm-hmm.
Switches wise, high and low gain modes, and boost bypass.
Yep.
And bright switches for either the regular mode or the boost bit.
Very good.
Nice.
I really like that.
Certainly capable of a wide range of sounds. I have to say that in all of these pedals, I always prefer the less clipped version.
Sure.
There's more dynamic there.
Yeah, that's what this circuit, I think, that's what it really lends itself to.
Right.
That sort of lower gauge, bit punchy.
A lot of people will moan about how overdrive pedals, if your amp sounds all big and open and dynamic, you stick an overdrive pedal in front of it and things can often get smaller. Mm-hmm. And to me, that smaller is often about it being so heavily clipped.
Sure.
That you're just losing dynamic and punch, which be interesting into a really gained amp, what difference that would make. Whether actually into a gained amp that would be a benefit because you wouldn't get so much extra gain, but I actually think you'd just get more mush, wouldn't you?
You know, it's really interesting. One thing, and because we're going to do the King of Tone next, and one thing that I've always found with this pedal and why it's never left my board is because specifically it doesn't do that. And where I notice it is at sound checks.
Right.
So I've had all these pedals turn up and think, oh yeah, this sounds really good. And I get the sound check, and with all the din of the noise going on and the crowd, you know, all that stuff, and I've got the amp turned up, doing that stuff, and I'll try the other pedal out, and it's like, put the King of Tone back on. It's all there.
Okay.
It just adds.
Right. So it doesn't close it down.
It doesn't close it down. So
cool. Okay, King of Tone then.
King of Tone.
So let's see, we're in Tele head. Okay. How do you set the King of Tone, Dan?
Now, people have asked me this before. There's one dip switch on. I've taken a photo, and you'll see the photo now. It's just a dip switch on number 1. I'm not exactly sure what that does.
I think that's the standard.
I think that's the way it comes.
I think that's the way it comes.
Right, which is this is set up as gain, this set up as boost. So this is how I have it set up. Now, obviously, it has 2 circuits in it, right?
For everyone that's screaming at the screen, why did you turn it down as soon as you said this is how I have it set up? Because it was in danger of clipping the input.
Yeah. But, you know, so if you imagine 2... It's not a Bluesbreaker pedal, but it's definitely inspired by
yeah, let's deal with that. A lot of people say, oh, God, King of Tone, rubbish. It's just a Bluesbreaker clone.
It only takes... So, okay.
If it is, it sounds nothing like it.
No.
So...
And if you imagine... Well, I mean, so we've actually been there and seen Mike and the boys making this.
Yeah.
I should say Mike and the boys, and Mike's wife also does a lot of work on this.
Yes, Mike and boys and girls.
And he, you know, he sits down with every single one of them and tunes them and makes sure that they all sound right. Just Mike knows the circuit back to front. however he's done it, and I'm not sure the difference. There are differences between them, and however he's done it, it just sounds mega.
Well, there clearly are, because on the Bluesbreaker you can't get a loud clean sound. You can on this.
Sure.
So clearly they're different.
And there's two. Yeah, so two of those circuits stacked together.
Yeah.
But you've got the dip switch options. There is also a presence control inside.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah.
So it's, for me, it's still
Okay. Let's have a here. While I'm doing this, Dan, could you go from kind of extreme of maximum gain to maximum clean,
I like it.
and see how we go?
I can do that. It is loud, but just glorious. For everyone that's screaming at the screen saying, yes, but there's two sides to it and they're both turned on. Yeah, I mean, that's the idea with the King of Tone, is that you do stack them and you get that clipping into clipping type thing. If I turn, you just have a listen to the boost side for just 1 second. And then the overdrive side. Killer, isn't it?
It's great. I don't necessarily prefer it over any of the others we've heard before, because there was a point where Dan and I were just so waxy lyrical about the King of Tone, and I think there's others on there that I like for different things. But yeah, it is.
You can see it's up there for good reason. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Pantheon.
First thing you notice about the Pantheon is that it also has a bass control. All right, so we've got a Baxter Dolly Q in there, which just gives it some more tonal options.
Quick explanation of what a Baxter Dolly Q is.
Baxter Dolly Q, it gives you, instead of just having a passive tone control, it's an active tone control that gives you sweeps over treble and bass frequencies. So whereas a passive tone control might just be a pot and a capacitor to ground, like this is, Baxter is actually actively shelving frequencies.
And my understanding of it was this kind of thing where if you turn down the bass and treble, you get
A mid-point.
you get a mid push and
Yeah.
that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
depending how it's designed.
Exactly, and you can put that midpoint wherever you like.
Yeah, cool.
know.
Okay, right, Pantheon. So we've
Pantheon.
got 2 gain levels, and
There's
we've got
three,
2.
There's 3. Sorry. There's 3 gain levels,
Yee!
and there's 3 overdrive voices as well. So if we start at the low, let's start low and go high.
Can you darken it off a bit?
Yep.
It always retains that loads on the top.
Yep.
Does that change with the different gain mode? Just out of interest.
Okay. So it's better there. Gets rid of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Play that for a sec. Certainly a lot in it, but it has a very kind of presency character to it, which I think works well at low volume in-ear monitors.
Okay.
Direct.
Let's try Les Paul with it for a second.
Yeah. I think it'd come into its own, again, if you were going into a gainier amp.
Sure.
Because you need that more treble
Yeah,
and presence
yeah.
push. And I do think in that quiet stage type environment where you're playing direct, having a bit more of that makes it all sound a bit nicer and a bit produced. But to me, it sounds, in the high end, it sounds different from all the others.
Sure.
Did you agree or not really?
Yeah, no, I agree. There's definitely, I mean, you got with the presence control all the way off.
Yeah.
And it might be
that's its default position.
Yeah, and then you add that.
Should have read the manual.
With a warm amplifier.
Yeah.
But I think with the Lester it sounds great.
I would also like to understand where it sits in Wampler's line, because Wampler makes so many really great distortion boxes.
Yeah.
What the motivation was for another one. I mean, you could say that about any company, but maybe other companies do sort of pigeonhole their drives into a box. Cool. All right. So all that remains to be done, Daniel, is you've got to pick one favourite to hear with the Les Paul, because we've heard them all with the Tele and the 335.
Right.
So you've got to pick one favourite that we're going to hear with the Les Paul and the Strat, and I'll pick a favourite we can hear with the Les Paul and the Strat.
Okay. My default position would be the King of Tone, just because I know it so well.
Then let's do that.
However, I want to choose. Actually, I'm going to choose the black box.
Okay.
Purely because, for me, it's probably the closest to this.
Yeah.
Cool.
Happy with that sound?
I like it.
Okay, and with the Strat, I'm going to try and do something like this to see what happens.
Edgy, raw, nice.
So it can do both.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm choosing the Box of Rock for a number of reasons. One, its name. Two, zero complication.
Yeah.
No switches, nothing for me to worry about. It just does what, in my opinion, an overdrive pedal should do, which is loud and louder.
It's definitely a factor that when you start putting lots and lots of options on there. Yeah.
Which way should I have it? Although, having said that, on the black box, what you'll have noticed was with the Les Paul, with more gain, there was loads of presency high end there, which you can have if you want. I turned it off for when you were doing that rock sound.
Sure.
But then with the Strat, lower gain, higher headroom out of the pedal, it needed a presence boost, so turn the bright switch on. So definitely usable.
Yeah.
Definitely usable. I'm not suggesting that it's not required. I'm suggesting that my brain can't cope with it. Box of Rock.
Totally killer. Wow. Really interesting.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
What's the difference between, this is not a joke, what's the difference between a normal box of rock and a Vexter box of rock? The Vexter ones are made offshore, I believe, to a lower price point.
Okay.
I think the circuit's the same, but for, is ostensibly the same.
Right.
Do they sound the same? Don't know. That's for another day. That's obviously hand-painted, regular, normal, ordinary box of rock.
Right. Cool. Interesting.
Super interesting. I think we chose our favourites.
Yeah, I mean, mine is still the King of Tone.
Yeah. I'd have any of these.
Right.
I think. I love the King of Tone. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
But I think I would have any of these.
Brilliant. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Also, please visit our store, that pedalshowstore.com.
Yep.
Where you can purchase yourself a lovely garment or some replicas of Mick's watch, complete with DNA and skin samples from his wrist. And we do have, depending on when this is going out, if we have, we've got some Christmas stuff in there as well.
Yeah, depending on when it goes out.
Yeah.
We've got some hats that's coming today, some baseball caps and trucker caps no less, and some bobble hats.
I'm going to merch up for the next video.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome.
Anyway, yeah, okay. Massive thanks to our exclusive preferred retailers in the UK and Europe.
Anderson's Music of Guildford, Surrey.
I don't know why that's so difficult. In the USA, it is.
Riff City Guitar of Sioux Falls, the Dakotas,
South Dakota. and New Hope, Minnesota, and another store. And also in Australia, your homeland, Daniel.
In Brisbane, Queensland, Australia is Pedal Empire.
Great. Check them out. If you want to buy something, please check them out. They pay us money to say that.
Massive thank you to our patrons on Patreon as well. Thank you guys so much. Hope you enjoyed that. Have a fantastic week and we will see you soon.
Groovy.
Bye.
Guess what? the JTM 45 turned up, and it's not any old JTM 45, it's a 1965 JTM 45. We're laughing because we've just been hammering it. Thanks to Johnny. Johnny, thank you so much. We can't thank you enough. So this is actually what a cranked JTM 45 sounds like. Does it sound like Clapton? Don't know. Now he may have not had the channels jumped, so we'll just. This is just the high treble channel.
Sorry, I had my earplugs in because my ears are done. I thought I've just got to hear that just for 2 seconds. Just do that again.